In episode number 214, we covered the latest Pokemon Sun and Moon demo. You can play Pokemon right now. Don't have to wait till next month to play.
We also have new Patreon feature updates for all of our current Patreon supporters and all of you who know you want to be a supporter as well.
Rockstar Games has also teased this huge game for them, probably right underneath Grand Theft Auto for them, and it is officially confirmed, Red Dead Redemption 2.
I'm going to be riding around on that horse all day long. That's all I did in that game anyway. We also have our comic book highlight of the week. This is Reborn number 1.
All of this and more on today's show. Hello and welcome to the Reasons I'm Broke podcast, bringing you the reasons we're broke every single week, ranging from comics, movies, TV, video games, and more. I'm Daniel.
And I'm Kelly.
This week we have a guest, a third opinion on the news today format, and you may have heard him before, Mr. Tim Yates.
Woohoo!
It's me. I'm back.
Welcome back, Tim.
Yeah, I know. You guys don't have to get excited. It's just me again.
I'm excited because you agree on me with more things than Daniel does. So this is a good show for me.
Nice. We could team up on them.
Yes, perfect.
For any new listeners out there, the way we format the show is first we cover some news ranging from comics all the way to more, and then we follow up with a comic book highlight or two of the week.
There's a lot in between comic books and more.
Tons. Tons and tons.
Like couponing. I keep wanting to talk about my couponing. You won't let me. Grocery store deals. Great places to eat out. Is that what we're talking about this week?
Whatever helps with downloads.
The reasons I'm less broke.
Yes, there we go.
A little spin-off show. So this would be awesome, because last time we had you, Tim, on the show, we were discussing New York Comic Con, which you went to. But to any new listeners out there, or to anyone that needs a reminder, I'll let them know exactly what you do for a living and what you're currently working on.
I'm a comic book artist and creator. I'm a colorist in my day job. I work on the accelerators with Blue Juice Comics. I work on Ether and Empire with Blue Juice Comics. Basically, I work with Blue Juice Comics. I'm the company guy. My personal project, Anne Bonnie, is what takes up a lot of my time. It's a comic book series about pirates, magic, and adventure.
Oh my!
All the story of yeah, it's good stuff. You should read it. Go buy it with your money. Read it.
Yeah, Volume 1 is out, complete with, what is that, 6 issues in one volume, right?
Yes. The first 6 issues are out. I have 7 and 8 done.
Awesome, and we still haven't read them, so I don't know what's going on there.
I don't know what's going on.
Yeah,
I'm waiting.
It's exciting. You'll just have to take my word for it.
Well, we will read them soon, hopefully. Hint, hint.
Yeah.
He's going to make us wait,
you guys some...
along with the rest of the common man.
I just had a crazy idea. I don't know where it came from, but maybe I could give you like advanced review copies.
Oh,
that'd be really cool. I mean,
maybe.
That sounds awesome.
All right. You know what? That's a good idea I just came up with by myself.
But for those of you who haven't read Anne Bonnie, we've talked about it so much on the show. It is a fantastic book. It's me as a pirate.
It is. And you can get it at Comixology. You can get it at BlueJuiceComics.com as well. And then the latest issues that, as they release, you can subscribe yourself for them. Even though they haven't been, I don't think 7's been officially solicited in previews yet.
No.
Because of the previous issues, you can put yourself down at your local comic book shop. And once 7 gets solicited, they can go ahead and pull and order it for you ahead of time.
Mm-hmm.
Same goes with Ether and Empire, which, as Tim mentioned, he did the colors for. And also the Accelerators, which is getting ready to do its would-be 3rd volume, right? Its 3rd series.
Yes. Well, no, the third is finished. We're going into the 4th now.
Okay.
We haven't started production on it, but the 4th will be out before next New York Comic Con. So before October, we'll have Volume 4, and then before next New York Comic Con, we'll have Volume 5, and that's the end, and it's over.
Wow.
Complete story. So you were talking about Comic-Con. You went to New York Comic-Con. That's a place that I've always wanted to go. It is one of the most talked about conventions right after San Diego Comic-Con. And you got to be a part of it and have your own tabling there along with the rest of Blue Juice Comics. Tell us, how did it go? How much fun was it?
It was terrible.
Never going again. Don't go.
No. I'm just kidding. it's always packed and loud and noisy, and those are things I generally don't seek out. But there's really nothing better as a creator to hang out with people who actually like read your comic and care about what you do. No, it's great because being a comic book artist, you just sit in a dungeon all day and draw. Well, at least I sit in a dungeon and draw. Maybe some other people's have sunlight in their life. But it gets lonely sometimes. Nah. But yeah, no, it gets lonely, and then you go to the conventions and get to meet all these people, and it's kind of. I made the comparison to those old Hot Wheels tracks where they had they have like the little wheels that spin the car like through the track, like speed it up.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
It kind of like goes around the track and then slows down, and then gets to the wheels again, and then goes to the track and then slows down. I kind of feel like that when I go to conventions because it's such a boost to my morale.
That's awesome, man. You also, I'm assuming you got to hand out a lot of postcards, business cards.
Yeah.
Did you do any original artwork throughout the entire weekend? Or did you just have a list that you were kind of working and chipping away at?
I usually get a few commissions to do before cons start, and then the first day I'll get them done, and then people come pick them up, and then some people ask for commissions while I'm there, and I'll draw for them. But generally my focus is on selling the books and telling people about the wonderful world of Anne Bonny, available in stores and on Campception. But yeah, no, I like drawing, and it's cool too because while I'm drawing, people like coming over and seeing what I'm doing, and like looking over my shoulder, and then I can spring the trap. Haha, I gotcha. Look at these comics.
Does Chris Hansen come out at that point? And he's like,
have a seat.
No, that's a perfect sales pitch right there because you direct them right over to, hey, you know what I drew like a year ago? Here you go. Check it out. Yeah, it's only, right here at the con. You can buy it tax-free. I'll sign it for you.
Mm-hmm.
Little under the table wink, wink.
Now, did you lose track of any sales this time?
I plead the fifth.
Or any books given away?
Oh, always. But friends and family know that they can stop by and be like, "Hey guys," and we'll throw books at them. But we'd rather people enjoy the books than like be super strict about like, no, we have to sell every single one.
Mm-hmm.
Right. No, that's definitely the way to go. And is New York Comic Con maintaining the tradition? Has this been your most successful convention this year?
Probably, yeah. This year for sure. Second would be MegaCon. Because as Blue Juice, we don't do too many conventions, just like a couple big ones here and there, and then the individual creators do some smaller ones, in their area, their hometowns. So like Mike Horan, the writer of Ether and Empire, will do a few local cons in Florida, and I'll do a few local cons in New Jersey. The best New Jersey con this year was Garden State Comic Fest for me.
Nice.
So New York was definitely the best.
No, that definitely works out, especially since you're kind of spread out throughout the U.S. and you can each have your own booth, as you mentioned, in different states. You can set up your cards and really spread the word throughout the nation, as opposed to, say, if everyone was located in Jersey, then it'd be a little bit harder to try to get other locals and other brand new readers if you were just focusing on one part.
Yeah, I want to really start expanding and travel the world through Comic Cons.
I wish if I could make a living doing that, like forget it.
Oh man, no, I would definitely not. What's the opposite of a living? I would make that.
Yeah.
But it would be fun, and who knows? Maybe one day people will actually pay for me to go to these places. I see cons like Australia and Hawaii, and I'm like, I need to go to these conventions.
We need you to travel to Hawaii. Well, if you say so.
Okay.
I'll take that bullet.
Yeah. I mean, I was looking at Cancun Comic-Con.
But I guess I'll go to Hawaii Comic-Con.
If I have to go to Hawaii.
Just settle.
Yes. Mediterranean Con. That would be fun.
One of those cruise ship conventions. That's what I want to go on.
Those are all the rage now.
They're
Is that
expensive, though. Yeah, you didn't know that's a thing? That's totally a thing.
Wait, like on a cruise ship, they have a Comic-Con?
Yeah.
What?
Royal Caribbean does them, but they're like 4 days, 3 or 4 days for It was more than 1,000, right? It was like 1,300 a person.
There's definitely a premium price because you get photos included with the celebrities as opposed to having to pay for them on the ship.
And alcohol.
And
I wonder how many.
Alcohol, yeah.
Well, yeah. No, this is the the reasons I'm drunk convention.
Yes.
Extravaganza.
But yeah, we looked into last year?
Yeah.
Earlier this year. And I would love to go on one someday.
It's just a little pricey, yeah. Mm-hmm. And I think it's, like you mentioned, only 3 to 4 days. So
yeah.
It's like probably one the same stop. For the creators. I'll bet tables on... I don't even know if you could sign up for tables on cruise ship con. They might just have an invite-only list.
You can, because I know on the... they advertised in Artist Alley, so they you have to be able to. I'm sure you can. It was all through Wizard World, though. So if you do look that up, it'll be through Wizard World. And I think they're doing another one next month, is the next cruise ship Comic-Con in November. But yeah, definitely check it out, because, I'd definitely be like, oh, Tim, which one are you going to be on? All right, let's go.
Yeah.
I'll have my research and look into it.
Yeah, awesome. All right, so on with the podcast. As I mentioned, very exciting that we'll have Tim on board as well. This is going to be kind of like a weekly regular show, except we'll have Mr. Tim Yates on. And we're going to start off, as we have been in the last 3 or 4 weeks, by sharing a Halloween story. And since Tim Yates is the guest this week, we're going to have him share his Halloween story as we lead up to the 31st.
So go, Tim.
Oh, wait, was that cue?
Yeah, that was your cue. Share your Halloween story.
Okay. Halloween stories. Okay, so as a kid, I never really got any costumes or dressed up as anything like real. I would just walk around the house and find weird stuff to just put on, like a catcher's mask and just strap myself with random stuff and come up with a name for myself.
Did you ever go as a hobo? Because that was one that I'd see all the time growing up.
Yeah, that's it's just the lazy version of I don't feel like doing a real costume. I'm just gonna do the least amount of work possible to go outside and get free candy.
The zero effort costume.
the zero effort costume. That was me. The one year I did dress up, I as like a real thing. I was a mummy, and I wrapped myself in toilet paper. My friend helped me.
Still a hobo costume.
And I wasn't even a kid. This was like I was in the Kubert school. The Kubert school is where I learned to draw. So it's a comic book school.
So this wasn't that long ago.
Like 4 or 5 years.
Yeah, it's not that bad.
Yeah, time flies. Jeez. They have a big Halloween kind of party / gathering after school the day before. As close to Halloween as they can get it. Mm-hmm. And, it's comic book school, so everybody goes crazy and dresses up. And you've got people who are into cosplay, so the costumes always look really good. So it's a big deal. So I wasn't planning on doing anything, but I was like, hey, Tony, help me dress up as a mummy. I feel like doing this. So we just spent half an hour after class just wrapping me in, like, a roll of giant, like, toilet or, like, tissue paper that we found in the bathroom.
So it wasn't even his money.
It was, I just stole toilet paper from the school and wrapped myself in it. So, I signed up and I didn't put my name down, so I was just Mystery Mummy, and they have a big, like, showcase where everybody goes up, like, everybody's name is announced and what their costume is, and there's, like, judges voting on the best costume. So I go up on stage and I'm wrapped in this toilet paper. I start getting, like, lightheaded, like, dizzy, and I'm, like trying to walk, and, like, my legs aren't moving. I'm like, oh, what's going on?
Like a real mummy.
Like, yeah. And, like, this thing starts happening, and, like, my vision starts, like, blacking out from the edges, and I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm gonna pass out. Like, I don't get stage fright. What's happening? This is really weird. And then I realized the face of my costume had no breath holes. So I was slowly suffocating. I was dying in this mummy costume. I was killing myself with a mummy costume.
Mummifying yourself.
So yeah, like the light had faded to like a little like pinprick, and my arms were all heavy. But I managed to like reach up and poke a hole through the front, like make a little mouth hole. So I saw pictures of it later, and I was just a mummy with glasses kind of stuck through the like sunglasses stuck over, so I could see out, but you couldn't like see through the it was cool. But it just had this random like hole poked in the front of it, and it looked really weird. And I was like, whatever. At least I didn't die.
So with the sunglasses, did anyone call you the Invisible Man? Because that's what I'm reminded of. That old
No,
the Invisible Man.
that would have been better. I didn't think of that. No, I should have been the Invisible Man. Man, why did I go for mummy? Oh, well.
All right, Kelly, the elections are heating up.
Yes.
More and more people are considering writing in Emperor President Palpatelli.
Are they really?
Of course they are. Of course they are, because we have political questions that were submitted.
All right.
So that people can help make up their mind.
Do I get my presidential march before I...
Well, if you get nominated, of course.
Oh, okay.
And these two questions come from Matt over at the Super Side Up podcast. Mm-hmm. First question is, how do you plan on fixing the bromance between Steve Rogers and Tony Stark following Steve shooting Bucky over Tony?
Okay, I gotta... So I'm a firm believer that time heals all wounds. They'll get over it. They just need to spend more time together. So what I would do is, I would plan parties with the rest of their friends and then send them invitations and be like, no, he's not going to be there. And then they show up and then they're the only two there.
And then what, you lock the doors?
Yeah, and eventually they just be friends again. See, here's the thing with guy fights, right? They go out and they drink and then they're fine. They punch each other in the face and then you're good to go. If it was women, forget about it. They're going to hate each other forever.
You guys just need to, go in this room, work out your stuff.
Punch each other, make out a little bit, whatever. You'll be fine.
I'll just leave this bottle of KY here. No questions asked.
Just in case.
Just talk it out.
You gotta leave a bottle of whiskey or something too.
Yeah.
Bourbon, whatever.
Ice cream.
All right, voters. There's one more question in case you need further persuasion. And the question, Emperor President Palpatelli, nominee. I don't even know what I'm calling you now. You've got so many titles.
I'm just the EPOTUS.
Do you support the building of a space wall to curtain illegal intergalactic alien immigration? And if you do, who will pay for it?
I do not support the building of this wall, because I feel there are many things we can learn from our intergalactic brothers.
Or overlords.
Whatever. And if any of them came here, I'd make friends with them. We'd all be chill. When I worked out my resume, the thing I put on there was, is very good at building relationships. That's on my resume. That's what I do. So no, I would not build this wall. And if there's any people doing illegal things, really, what do they want with Earth? We're, half destroyed ourselves anyway. So they could just go do illegal things in better resourced planets.
So you hear that, Superman? You are welcomed on Earth.
Of course he is. And Silver Surfer. He's welcome. I'm not going to tell him no.
Do you have any arguments, Tim? Arguments as to why you would not write in Emperor President Palpatelli this election?
No. Because I don't want to. I don't want to be on the list of people to get sent to the camps that are built after she's elected.
You're saying I'm going to build camps?
I support Emperor Palpatelli.
Who said I was going to build camps? I'm going to create a utopia for the world.
Come on, let's be honest. Think of all the good you could do with camps. Think of the people you could send there.
I mean, I did go to summer camp as a kid, and I loved it.
Yeah, they don't even have to know that they're being sent away because they're bad for the planet or the country or whatever. You just make it this great place with a theme park,
free food.
It's you guys watch Rick and Morty?
No, I have not seen a single episode.
Ah, it's so great. So in Rick and Morty, there's this planet or this daycare where because Rick and Morty is all these different dimensions and all these Ricks always talk to each other. He's the inventor, and they know of each other. They go from dimension to dimension all the time. So there's a dimension where they have a daycare for Morty's dad because he always tries to go along on their space trips, and whenever they bring him, he gets in trouble. So they just drop him off at daycare. And it's just designed to keep him distracted and entertained. That's what your camps will be like.
I mean, it'd be awesome. You could have a camp for old people where they need a place to go where they can just interact with each other.
What if they want to hang out with young people?
I mean,
there are problems with this plan, Emperor Palpatelli. I am now reconsidering. Actually, I already voted.
Send them to the camp.
To the camp for you.
This is a good idea. I feel like you need a vice minister of camp organization.
All right, Tim, you're in charge of that.
And I would like to submit my application.
Okay, accepted.
So awesome.
Will you have to personally overlook these fun camps, Tim?
Personally?
Yeah.
Oh, I'm probably going to join one, to be honest. It sounds pretty awesome.
So either way, he's ending up there.
Yeah, I mean, I'll know what's going on, and I can leave at any time. These sound like great places.
I mean, I feel like it really could be. Like, I might go join a camp, too.
And it kind of has to be, otherwise people will get outraged over you sending large amounts of people to camps, because then that's scary. Then that turns into Emperor Palpatine getting, revolutions and stuff. But, if it's a nice place, then people won't be, creeped out by it.
I almost think that we should rename them from camps. Like, it needs a more positive name. Just so people aren't as upset or sad about being sent to have fun.
Yeah. It's super fun time adventure, always summer camp.
It'll be like, did you ever watch The Simpsons with the Krusty Camp?
No.
It was, it's all sponsored by Krusty, who is not the greatest television show host and sells products all the time with lead and poison in them. So this camp ended up being like by the end of the little camp session with Bart and all them, they had overthrown all the adults and the teenagers, and they almost had like a cultish society where all the kids ruled, and they only Bart was ruling all of them, and it got really insane in like 2 days. It was like no time. I mean, I'm comparing this to that.
Well, those things will not happen under my presidency.
Yes, as Vice Minister of Camp Counseling, I will take this material into consideration when I'm planning my camps.
Well, there you go.
There we go.
I do want to say I want no part of this.
Send them to the camp. You'll have a great time, Dan.
All right, moving on to video game news. We had mentioned earlier Rockstar Games made a huge announcement.
Earlier this week, video game developer Rockstar Games changed up their logo to theme it red and crimson colors.
Soon after, they revealed an image of a sunset/sunrise with the silhouette of 7 cowboys.
They have since confirmed that Red Dead Redemption 2 will launch fall 2017 on Xbox One, PC, and PS4.
Can you believe it's been 6 years since the last Red Dead game?
I feel old.
I was still working at GameStop at that moment. Red Dead Redemption was fucking massive.
It was. I remember you just used to like ride around on your horse for hours. You found like those cannibal people? That's all I remember from that game was cannibals.
Also the 4 horsemen of the apocalypse. You can find each one, tame it, and ride it.
That's crazy. The horsemen you can ride, or the horses?
The horses.
You can ride.
Did I say horsemen?
You did. So the 4 horsemen, and you could tame them. And I was wondering what kind of game you were playing.
Yeah, I like this game.
It was the XXX expansion.
There you go.
Did you ever play Red Dead, Tim?
No, I knew about it, but I've never actually owned a console, so it wasn't one of those games. Actually, you know what? It was probably on PC, but I'm a lazy gamer. I can't pick up games that I know I'll want to spend a lot of time on because I'm kind of an addict. So I guess that's the opposite of a lazy gamer. But
did you not have an N64?
No.
No Game Boy?
Oh no, I had a Game Boy.
Oh, okay. Oof. I was gonna have to fire you or something.
Yeah. Crisis averted. No.
I was gonna have to send you to a camp where they only have N64s.
Oh man, that sounds awesome.
Yeah, doesn't it? I'd just be playing Pokemon Snap all day. Except there'd be that one little shit kid there that was better at Pokemon Snap than me. Oh, I couldn't do it. We'd get in a fight.
That's why you have a camp within the camp for the extra needy
Campception
campers.
I think that's the title of the episode, Campception. Red Dead was probably is my favorite of the Rockstar games. I never got too big into GTA, and I know I still have to play the latest one, GTA 5, because people are raving about it. It's one of the, if not the best game of all time, I hear all the time. And Red Dead Redemption was amazing. I played that from beginning to end, finished most of the extra side missions, did the DLC with all the zombies, with the 4 horsemen, and the 4 horses.
Horsemen? No, the 4 horsemen. That you have to find and ride and tame them.
So I can only imagine with 6 years of extra time with how fast technology moves, especially in the video game industry, what kind of stuff they can add into this world and how much larger it can really be. I mean, you're talking GTA 5 levels of Western shooting action. I'm the only one excited. I'm the only one, and that's okay.
Listen,
I've got this
if
pre-ordered.
there's 4 horsemen you have to tame, then we'll talk.
That sounds like a completely different game.
Let's talk about the game you're excited for.
Yes.
Pokemon Sun and Moon.
Mm-hmm.
The demo dropped, and you beat it from beginning to end, all 20 minutes of it?
It wasn't even 20 minutes. It was like 7 minutes. It took me longer to download that bitch than to actually play it.
Would you rather have 0 demo?
I don't know. Just let me complain.
You're nerd raging.
Yes, just let me nerd rage. Yes, I did play the demo. It was good. You got to have a Pikachu. He was cool.
Started off with Greninja, one of the most popular starter evolutions in all of Pokemon's history.
I wouldn't go that far.
He is in Super Smash Brothers.
I still want to go that far.
Before they even... Yeah, go ahead, Tim.
He's like number 4 at best. Number 4 popular.
That's pretty damn good considering how many there are.
Listen, he's not in my top 4, okay?
What's number 4 then? I can't even think of any of them.
Any of the final evolutions?
Yeah, the starters. There's
Venusaur, Charizard, Blastoise.
Gold and Silver.
It was Typhlosion.
Oh, yeah.
Torchic's evolution. But that was, I think, in black and white.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. I like Blaziken better than I like Greninja.
There you go. Blaziken for Alligator.
No, I like Typhlosion better. Chikorita was in
Gold and Silver. There you go.
And then Totodile.
Yep, for Alligator.
For Alligator. I liked that way better than the other ones, except Chikorita. He was lame. But then the next one, you got Trico and 2 other things I didn't care about. Chikorita was there, and Mudkip thing.
Don't forget about Pignite. And Mudkip Swampert is one of my favorites. I have Swampert on my arm tattooed right now.
Nah.
Ground and water type. That bitch was amazing.
Nah. You know who my favorite starter is?
Pikachu.
Damn right. Don't need nobody else.
But Kelly, Pikachu's not a starter.
Yeah, he is. Pokemon Yellow.
Oh, I didn't get that one.
I can't. I want to fire you, but nobody else will run my camps.
It's true. I'm indispensable.
Listeners right now are tweeting in I'll run them.
All 2 listeners. Tim's one of them, so who else is tweeting in?
Yeah, just give me the Twitter password. I need to check up on a couple of things. And you're sent to the camp, and you're sent to the camp, and you're sent to the camp.
You go to camp, and you go to camp. It's an Oprah moment.
Camp for everyone. To be honest, I feel like these camps are going to be so great. People are going to be sending in applications to go.
I mean, here's the thing. I'm thinking, nobody has to work, and we're just giving them things that they like.
Yeah.
This is so terrible.
we're gonna have emails saying, "Hey, I'm like a serial killer, and you need to protect the world." Camp.
Well, there'd be a special camp for them too, right?
Well, no, they have to work real jobs.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
That's their punishment.
Yeah.
Maybe a little rough, yeah.
Like criminals and stuff, they have to work real jobs. And, that's just what they do. All the rest of us get to go to camp.
Yeah, actually, you know what? That's it. Camp's for all the good people.
Yeah.
And then the world has to be run by...
But we get to decide who the good people are.
Wait a minute. Hang on. I need to plan this a little more. We're all over the place here.
I feel like my campaign is done now.
Your campaign?
I think so too.
My campaign. So Pokemon demo, very short.
Yeah, it's very short. I mean, you pretty much arrive at Hawaii. Let's fucking call it Hawaii, because that's what it is. You arrive at Hawaii, and you come in with your level 36 Greninja.
35.
35? Okay.
35.
Then it ends at 36 after all the battles.
Yes.
They give you the option to go into the Pokemon Center, figure out how that's used in case you've never played a Pokemon game. You talk to the new professor, which gives you a Pikachu.
What was his name?
Kukui.
No, he scares me. I don't like Kukui.
Kukui is, to anyone confused, it's essentially Mexican's version of the Boogeyman. It's named El Kukui.
No, stop that. It scares me.
That's the professor's name, is Kukui. So when I saw that, I'm like, oh shit, this is what El Kukui looks like? It's not that scary. I was scared as a child for no reason. I should have been bad this whole time.
You've been walking around since then going, El Kukui in my ears and scaring me. I don't like it.
After that, you get to play Pokemon Snap. I mean, you finally got Pokemon Snap in an actual Pokemon game.
It was okay. I had to take a snap picture of that weirdo.
Yeah, the dinosaur.
Yeah.
It's not on rails, so it's not really Pokemon Snap, but I mean, you should be happy you're getting this, I think. I mean that's the way I'm looking at it.
You should be happy we gave you anything. That's how men talk to women, Dan.
That's also how fucking Chris Hansen's Kickstarter talked to all of us that never got our rewards. I'm never going to get over that, but I'm still going to enjoy all the investigations.
But Sully's it for me.
What's that?
It sullies it for me.
Yeah, it's pretty bad. You do want to make sure you download the demo to Pokemon Sun and Moon, because if you do complete it, you download it, when you get the full game next month, you will have the option to transfer over Greninja over to the main game. And this Greninja is also Ash Greninja, in case you hadn't tuned in for that episode. This one, after you defeat a Pokemon in battle, it will transform into its stronger form, which is the anime character and regular Greninja merged together into one. So he's got that hair popping out the sides.
And his little hat.
And no, he doesn't wear his hat, but he does have the hair. And he's much stronger. So after you knock out a Pokemon, he gets stronger.
Can we talk about who else has hair in this new game?
Who's that?
Doug Trio.
Alolan form.
Has
Doug
some
Trio.
fancy ass hair.
Did you see that, Tim? Have you seen the new Alolan forms?
Oh, there's a Doug Trio?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know that.
With some fancy ass hair.
Hang on, I'll have my research team look that up for me. All right, Google Doug Trio.
And now imagine that Tim has a staff around him 24/7, like 2 guys that are just waiting. Like, what do you need, Tim? And that's what they're doing right now. They're working on pulling up Doug Trio. And he's just like, faster!
Yeah, when you work for Emperor President Kelli, you get assistants. His assistants have assistants. Like, that's how high up he is in my campaign.
Wait a minute, there's some of these that are clearly fake. This can't be the actual Doug Trio.
The one with the little blonde hair?
Is that
Oh,
real?
that's him.
It's amazing. That's what that is.
What is happening?
It's fabulous Doug Trio.
Oh no. What?
People have named them Hanson.
All right.
From the 90s.
Wow.
Oh, they're Hanson. If one was bald, they would remind me of the Three Stooges, because the little one on the right, he's got kind of like that stooge haircut. Mm-hmm. He's adorable.
Oh my gosh, they are the Three Stooges. You're right.
Yeah, adorable.
I'll bet they planned that.
So what does Diglett look like?
I don't think we've seen Alolan Diglett yet. They haven't revealed it. They have revealed Alolan Persian, which everyone hates. Mm-hmm. No one likes Alolan Persian. They're shitting on it so bad.
They're saying it's the one with a little grass on his head.
Oh, awesome. That's pretty fucking cool.
So he's got a little bit of hair. Look at that long hair and the one in the back. It's fancy. Who thought it would be a good idea to put hair on these guys? I don't know.
Is this I feel like this is a joke. This can't be real. So no, wait, does its type change like the other Alolan forms?
Probably, but we're not sure yet. What type does it get
from having hair? Is it fairy type?
Fairy, yeah, that's what I'm thinking. Maybe fairy.
Really? Why has it got to be a fairy type? Because it got fancy hair.
Yeah, because if you remember... Oh, you know what? It could also be dragon type. Because Ampharos' mega form is part dragon, and he grows that long-ass hair.
Benjamin Franklin.
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah, I remember.
I feel like this is just lazy. Like, I'm looking at this right now and trying to figure out the angle. Like, oh, let's redo Doug Trio here. What should we do? I don't know. We could make them out of ice, like those, like Sandshrew. We could make them out of fire. That would be cool. Like
little volcanoes.
Fire digger thing. No. Let's just give him hair.
Yeah, and it's great. We just gave Grimer that beard, his little goatee. Yeah. That's all he needed. I want him to be a water type, and that's his surfer hair.
Boom. Maybe that's what it is.
Well, there's a picture of him on a beach. I'm still not buying it, though.
Why don't we have Tim redesign Alolan form Doug Trio to see what he would do?
Does Tim have time to redesign Alolan form Doug Trio?
It's 3 hills, and then whatever he wants to add to them. Like, Doug Trio's not that complex.
All right. So I got it. So here's what we do. So we take Doug Trio, keep them exactly the same, and just put little mustaches on each of the Doug.
Yes. Can we put sombreros on them too?
No, just little mustaches.
That went too far, Kelly.
What if you did like 3 different hats from 3 different countries?
Like a beret.
Yeah, and then a sombrero.
It's Hawaii theme though. What's like a Hawaiian hat? Maybe like little grass skirts, but you can't see them because they're underground.
Yeah, and coconut bras.
You and those coconut bras.
They're awesome.
Ooh, coconut bras. That would work.
Everyone gets coconut bras. That's all the Alolan forms are for Kelly.
Oh, wait, no. Just mustaches for Doug Trio males and coconut bras for Doug Trio females.
Perfect. They grew boobs, too. I guess in their Alolan form.
There's cleavage.
Yeah. Things get weird in Alola.
What happens in Alola stays in Alola.
So that wraps up our video game talk for this week. We move on to some pretty big movie news as far as Warner Bros. Is concerned, because they're not ready to let go of Harry Potter.
And why should they? They made so much money off that bitch. So, although Fantastic Fantastic Beasts and Where to Find Them has yet to release, Warner Brothers has expanded their series from 3 movies to 5. I thought this was just 1 movie all along. So,
yeah, wait, it was going to be 3 movies?
Now it's 5.
So they announced this news, that the series is going to be from 3 movies to 5, and everybody simultaneously says, we only thought it was going to be 1. So they both announced that it was going to be 3 and is now going to be 5 in the same press release.
Same time.
That's genius.
I remember that book being thin as shit, so they must be adding all kinds of stuff. J.K. Rowling is back there writing this. She wrote the script, so she's just adding whatever she wants.
Oh, yeah, why not?
And loosely adapting Fantastic Beasts.
Nobody can complain about it because she wrote it all. That's smart.
I mean, you can still complain, but...
Well, we'll see that in a little bit.
Part 1 is set to release November 18th, 2016, so just a few weeks away. Part 2, November 16th, 2018. And Part 3, finally, November 20th through 2020.
So, essentially, we're not going to see the final movie till 2024.
If they stay on schedule.
I'm going to feel old as shit by the time that movie comes out.
Yeah.
That's like 10
much.
years of movies.
That's a lot of movies.
That's a lot of movies.
Anne Bonny will be on volume, 10 by then.
No, and the Anne Bonny movie will come out before they're done.
and
Before they're done with Part 5.
Anne Bonny cartoon series season 1 will be finished.
Oh, amazing. I can't wait.
That's insane. I mean, I know they really want to make this Harry Potter franchise work, moving it from 3 to 5. I think that tells me that the Harry Potter movies aren't really set to return in that time period. I mean, there's nothing stopping them from releasing Harry Potter at the same time as, say, Part 4. But I thought that the new book, which was the play adaptation of Harry when he was an adult, was their plan to bring back the Harry Potter franchise while still using Daniel Radcliffe, Emma Watson, and the rest of the characters as they age.
I don't know. I didn't read it. Snape's not there anymore. I don't care.
Oh, wait, because it's before, right? Like the timeline is before the original series?
Fantastic Beasts is, yes. But the latest book that just came out is set 10 to 20 years in the future after the last book.
Oh.
So they still gotta wait before they can film it. They're not that old yet.
Well, see, they're just pulling a Star Wars. They're gonna do shitty prequels that nobody likes, and then they're gonna have J.J. Abrams direct actual sequels with the original cast once they're super old, and he's super old. So it's just gonna be like a disoriented kind of dementia-filled romp through nostalgia.
This worries me because I feel it is going the way of Chronicles of Narnia, where they're going to get to movie number 3 and nobody's going to care anymore.
Did they actually finish Chronicles of Narnia?
I don't think so, because nobody cared anymore.
Yeah, I think it stopped. I don't think I even saw 3.
No, I saw the first one, and then they took so long. They're all spaced 2 years apart, because I remember I had a friend who was super into all those books, and she's like, yeah, every 2 years I'm going to be this old when the last one comes out. I can't wait. And then I saw the first one 3 or 4 times. It was huge. And then, I don't know, I just didn't see any of the rest of them. Because I didn't care.
With this news, because it is Warner Brothers, I'm assuming, and why not?
And why not?
There's never a shortage of nerd rage.
That's the waves. I love that you humor me.
So Nerd Rage Reaction is a comment on the internet that we find underneath the latest trailer, in the YouTube comments, on the Facebook post, wherever it may be. We copy and paste it, sometimes correct for punctuation, but we never tell you who it is or where to find it. You can try to look that up yourself, but it is a comment that we find funny and irrational and that we share with Brokettes.
And our comment this week is... I love Harry Potter, but really, is there even enough material for 5 movies? 3 question marks after that, by the way. They're very confused if there's enough material for 5 movies.
Your reaction first, Tim, to this Nerd Rager.
Recap again. What was the Nerd Rage? I was just staring at this Doug trio with blonde hair. What just happened?
Are they the 3 horsemen?
Nerd Rage about the movies. Yeah. People just need to stop judging things before they happen. Sure, it could be bad. Lots of sequels for popular things are bad, but then occasionally there's good ones.
Like Aliens.
Like Aliens, exactly.
Terminator 2.
Terminator 2.
Mulan
But, I mean,
2.
Right. But this is like... Wait, there's a Mulan 2?
You haven't seen Mulan 2?
No. I want to, though. I feel like Mulan 1 left so many questions.
Well,
like...
Mulan 2 leaves a whole lot more questions. But Shang Li turns into... Well, you have to watch the movie, but he turns into a Native American like halfway through. It's the best. Looks like Cocoam.
Okay.
For some reason, his animation changes. He gets a little bit darker. He gets like that long hair, and you're right. He looks like Cocoam for Pocahontas.
Yeah, he does for like one scene. It's awesome. I think we need to have a Mulan 2 viewing party. We need to make this happen.
Yeah, no, I'm down. I'll fly down to.
All right, book your plane ticket. Come on down. Watch Mulan 2. I can't believe you missed this. It's almost as good as The Little Mermaid 2.
I didn't even know that was a thing, too.
Oh my god. All of them have 2. Cinderella has like 4 movies. Beauty and the Beast has like 4.
They were probably really bad, which is why I didn't hear about them.
They were terrible.
Excellent.
I personally like that this Nerd Rager says, is there really enough material for 5... Like, as if they're filming them, and then they get to 2020, and they're like, wait, hold on a second. I think we just reached the end. We still have to make 2 more movies. Like, they don't plan this out at all. They're not writing more material.
Stuff together.
Well, they're obviously planning 5 movies because they think they can, well, 1, get everybody's money from them.
Of course.
So they're thinking we could make money off of 3 movies, or we could make money off of 5 movies. Because let's be honest, like they really have to poop the bed before people won't go see every one of those movies. Like 1 through 3 has to completely suck, like be just the worst movies ever. Before 4 and 5 won't make like just as much or more money.
Mm-hmm.
Of course, and Universal's probably going to do another expansion for it.
So that's the practical side of things. And I saw an interview with J.K. Rowling saying she was, when she was conceptualizing Harry Potter, like this story was the one she always wanted to tell, but while writing it, it just took a different turn, and her main character became Harry Potter, and the story kind of developed from there. So this is like her original brainchild baby project. Not to say that means it'll be good, because sometimes the first idea creators come up with is not great, and it evolves from there for a reason.
Right.
So still reserving judgment, but hey, that's kind of cool. Who doesn't like J.K. Rowling?
Yeah, we shall see with part 1 coming out next month.
Wait, really? Next month?
November 18th.
That's awesome.
Same day as Pokemans.
Huh. I gotta decide. Wait, why not both? I could play.
Why not both? It's on the go. Pocket Monsters.
Yeah. All right.
I'm definitely going to play Pokemans instead of seeing this movie on the first day. Do you know how many crazy people are going to be at this movie on the first day?
Oh, man. That's half the show, though. I kind of want to be there for it. I want to just stand up and start cheering at random times in the movie and seeing anybody
like really
joins
sad
it.
times when you think somebody's dead, because that's going to happen.
Yeah. Every time they name drop something that's going to happen in the future, like a character, I'm just going to stand up and start cheering. Like if they even mention Dumbledore, I'm just going to freak out.
Oh, isn't Dumbledore supposed to be in it?
I've never read the Fantastic Beasts, but yes, I think they outlined Dumbledore's relationship with the other wizard and how he had to kill him even though he loved him.
Oh.
Yeah, I want to see that story on the big screen. I don't think they'll do it, but I mean that'd be.
But I saw something on Facebook that said we're going to see gay Dumbledore, and then it showed like old man Dumbledore's face, and then like someone waving a big flag next to that was the poster that they put up.
What kind of flag?
The rainbow flag.
Oh, okay. Not. I was thinking Gryffindor or
no, the rainbow flag. And then I was like, so is he an activist in this? I'm very confused. That's what it made it seem like.
No, IMDb does not have a Dumbledore. I had my research team look it up.
Well, they still have 4 movies to put him in.
Yeah.
Do they even have enough for those 4 movies?
Do they what?
Do they even have enough for those 4 movies?
Oh, I see. You're going full circle back to the Nerd Rager.
Yep.
Well done.
And to fill our quota for the Marvel brokettes out there, because I know they're out there, and I know they they didn't like that we didn't talk about Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. and Ghost Rider, because that was something they all really liked, and I'm sure Ghost Rider was cool. I saw some scenes. I saw the scenes that someone put together on YouTube. All the Ghost Rider scenes. I'm like, all right, that's pretty awesome.
They are.
I'm not a big Ghost Rider fan, so I was just like, that's cool, I guess, but I'm not the person that this was obviously for. Mm-hmm. But Guardians of the Galaxy 1 is a movie that you and I both enjoyed. Mm-hmm. It's one of the 5 Marvel movies that I do like, and the sequel is coming right up next year. The teaser dropped earlier today.
I'm a dancer, Gamora is not.
You just need to find a woman who is pathetic. Like you.
Thanks, buddy.
Do you need a hug?
No, I do not.
Oh, I thought I said no.
Pretty good teaser. But it was still just a teaser. I was like, there it is. Still don't care about Gamora. Whatever.
Wait, how could you know you don't care about Gamora from, half second she was on screen?
I didn't care about her in the first one, and I still really don't care about her in this half-second teaser.
Well, they were talking about her. It was pretty funny. I like that trailer.
What'd you think of Guardians of the Galaxy 1, Tim?
Oh, it was amazing.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun.
Yeah, it was so much fun. It was like the perfect, I don't know, it was like, I feel like it was the perfect movie in a way because, like...
Whoa.
Yeah, no, I went there.
I don't know if I'd go that far.
I'm not going that far.
Well, I mean, it was enjoyable. Like, there was no parts you could look at and be like, well, that's gotta be done better, or that could be done better. Like, people were laughing, people were having a good time. That's really what movies are all about.
Were
like,
you
sure,
all
it's something...
in one of these camps when you were seeing this movie?
I could be in one now, and I'd be okay with it. It was a great movie. I liked it.
I'm guessing you judged movies more on how entertained you were by it and how much of a good time you had.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Okay.
I mean, like, and that doesn't mean I just enjoy like funny, fun movies. Like, I enjoy serious movies and dark movies and depressing movies. For a movie, it needs to know what it is and and present itself. For presenting itself as what it was perfect. It doesn't make it the greatest movie of all time. I'm not like I guess, cinema snob. I guess you could say. I can't really talk about the production details and like the direction or whatever, but it was fun, and that's all I care about.
I'm glad you enjoyed it. As I mentioned, I enjoyed it too. I think it was. I mean, I have to look at movies as how was it shot, how was it set up, the production, and that's just what I kind of can't snap myself out of after studying, right. Taking all those classes on it. So every movie I have to judge in that way, and that's probably why I don't like as many of the Marvel movies. This is one of the exceptions. It was shot well. It had good pacing. As you mentioned, it was fun. It was humorous. There was some action as well. There's some character building. It's all there. Everything that you are looking for, not only in a comic book movie, but in a summer blockbuster, is in an overall well-rounded film, is in Guardians of the Galaxy. And I'm very curious to see what kind of direction they'll go in Guardians of the Galaxy 2. I'm guessing Thanos will probably play some kind of part in this, since Drax is still trying to kill him. We're going to see Groot grow up throughout the film, I guess.
Yeah, because he's a baby.
He's not a baby.
He's a baby.
He's just a little Groot.
No, he's a baby.
There's nothing
baby.
He's not reborn.
He's a baby Groot.
He's regenerating.
I like
when Benjamin Button became a baby, wasn't he a baby?
No. He
was a baby.
He was a sick human.
No, he was baby Benjamin Button. Just like when he was young, he was old man Benjamin Button.
He was a baby then.
No, he was an old man.
You don't have to look like a baby to be considered a baby.
Yes, you do. Is our dog a baby?
Yes, but no, she's not a baby anymore. She's over a year old.
No, stop it. She's a baby. And Groot was a baby in this. It was baby Groot.
Tim, is it Groot or is it baby Groot?
It's baby Groot.
Yes!
He's little, he's riding raccoons. I like how the roles are reversed and now he's riding Rocket Raccoon's shoulder.
Yeah, because he's a baby. Okay, the pop vinyl of him, does it say baby Groot?
It says...
Baby Groot.
Okay, it says baby dancing Groot, and he's neither a baby nor does he dance as the pop.
He's a baby dancing Groot, that's fine.
He's not dancing.
He's a baby. Baby Groot.
The pop does not dance, and I still don't know why they put dancing, because I had customers tell me, oh, does this move like with music? No, it's just a figurine.
Okay, well, he's still a baby. Now you're just arguing that he's not dancing. I don't care about that. He's still a baby.
Well, you're both wrong.
No, it's 2 against 1. And who here is running for president?
Well, you haven't won yet.
Listen, but I will. I will get all of 2 votes. Can you vote for yourself for presidency?
Yes.
Really? Why didn't you vote for me, Dan?
Well, Dan. This was before you were running. My ballot was already in before you had announced your candidacy for president, Emperor.
So,
Kelli.
Would you have voted for me, Dan?
Absolutely. Absolutely, I would have. I would have written in Emperor President Kelli.
That is a lie. That is a husband
He's
answer.
lying.
And
he's lying.
You would have gotten more votes than Mickey Mouse.
I don't think that's true. I think a lot of people are voting for Mickey Mouse this
Yeah,
election.
no. Let's not get crazy. Mickey Mouse will always get more votes, but
Donald Duck gets a good amount too.
The fact will never change that he's not a real person. So a fake cartoon character cannot be president, which is why he's never been president.
Otherwise, he would have been president by now.
Yeah, no, he would have been president every time.
Yeah, probably.
On to the comic book side of news. We've got the latest partnership between Boom Studios and DC Comics.
This one is pretty amazing. We will see Justice League / Mighty Morphin Power Rangers.
Mighty Morphin fucking Power Rangers and Batman? I mean, yeah, Justice League, but Batman? I mean, how fucking cool is that?
That is amazing. I never would have guessed that in forever.
Yeah, that's pretty incredible.
DC and IDW have been in this little, I don't even know what to call this partnership. They might as well fucking buy out IDW and use their characters whenever they want. Boom Studios. But fucking buy IDW too, because they've been working with them on Star Trek and TMNT now. Buy Boom Studios, have them part of the DC universe. That way Mighty Morphin Power Rangers can fight the Justice League and DC villains. I mean, this is pretty awesome. I did not even see this ever happening or guessing. No one ever said, you know who should cross over? Justice League and the Power Rangers.
And then once you heard it, you're like, that's fucking brilliant.
Yeah. No, it's good. They should do more. They should do more stuff like this. I want to see every character in the DC universe or the Marvel universe. Marvel should step up its game. Team up with another publisher.
Yeah, they haven't done that in such a long time. I mean, I remember crossovers were a thing of the 90s and the 80s. You had Justice League and Avengers crossing over. You had Alien and Predator crossing over with Superman, Batman, and then the team up of Alien and Predator versus Superman and Batman, Captain America and Batman. This isn't a new thing, but the fact that they're starting to do it again with the big publisher, the first one being DC, and Marvel's still not getting on this bandwagon, I don't know if that tells something. I mean, Marvel has to work on more than just their line, but also their relationship with other publishers.
You know what team up I want to see?
Which one?
I want to see Captain Planet and Batman 66. Because then we can have all sorts of great saving the world puns.
Well, you know Leo DiCaprio is producing a live-action Captain Planet movie.
How amazing is that?
Is Batman in it?
You should be.
Well, then.
Is it Captain Planet v. Batman?
Oh my gosh. Captain v. the Planet. A darker spin on Captain Planet.
That'd be amazing.
I mean, if you did that, you'd have to put in Poison Ivy, Mr. Freeze, if you base him off of Batman and Robin, Ra's al Ghul.
Who else wants to save the world? That's it. Let's throw on the Penguin.
Ozymandias. One of my regulars at the comic shop was saying, how terrible is this book going to be? Justice League, Mighty Morphin Power Rangers.
How terribly brilliant.
My whole thing was, it's going to sell like crazy. It does not matter how terrible this book is.
Yeah. Yeah, it could be total crap, and it'll still sell. Because when's that movie coming out? The Power Rangers movie's coming out, so there's already all this hype.
That'll be next year. I mean, this is probably the height of Power Rangers right now.
So it'll be next year, the same time as the Justice League movie.
Yeah.
Right, yeah, same exact year.
So then forget about it. Like, this book's already sold. Like, any copies they've already printed, already gone.
It's the age of cashing in on
our
people's
childhood.
Nostalgia. This is just the first of many, many old TV shows crossing over into the comic world.
Might as well do it, because let's imagine that they never touched Power Rangers. Let's say they don't touch Power Rangers in the next 10 years. You know, it's 2030, let's say. And then you try to do Power Rangers. At that point, I think it's too late, because everyone that did grow up on Power Rangers isn't going to be spending the kind of money that, say, you know, we are at this point, you know, when we're in our 30s, 40s, 50s. And you kind of have to hit that perfect spot of, okay, the generation that grew up on this show are now old enough to spend their money recklessly on our movies.
Well, here's what they're also doing. The generation that loved that show that's now spending their money recklessly also has kids that they're bringing to that show because they loved it enough as a kid.
My kids into the thing I loved.
Exactly. That's exactly it. So now you've created Power Rangers for another generation. So in 20 more years, you're going to make another movie, and all those kids that remember it from now are going to go see it again. It's brilliant.
Brilliant.
Brilliant. Like with Godzilla.
It's a great idea, Kelly. I don't know why people haven't thought of this sooner.
I don't know why I'm not president yet.
I will say though, I think that movie, I think the Power Ranger movie is gonna be pretty freaking bad.
Me too.
The crossover is going to be written by Tom Taylor, who's previously done Injustice: Gods Among Us. Art by Stephen Byrne, who is currently working on the DC Rebirth Green Arrow series.
Issue number 1 will begin with Zack, the Black Ranger, being flung into the DCU after a teleporter accident from the Power Rangers Command Center. It's a pretty shitty teleporter then. Like, here, go into this other universe. The remaining Rangers then have to go on a rescue mission to save Zack.
That's cool.
Comics, it doesn't matter what the explanation is.
So who's the bad guy going to be?
We'll probably see Darkseid. I think we'll see...
What if Rita and Darkseid team up together? Forget about it. We're done.
And Zed. You gotta have Zed
Who's
in there.
Zed?
Lord Zed?
Who's he?
The red muscly guy with the brain exposed that parents complained about.
The muscly guy?
Yeah, he was just made out of muscle that was exposed at all times.
I have to Google this. Tim, get my people to Google this.
All right, research team, get on it.
This is the second major crossover event between DC and Boom following the recently released Gotham Academy and the Lumberjanes miniseries.
Ooh.
Why'd they complain about him? He's cool. Oh, I see why. He's just wearing a little Speedo.
I don't think that's why.
Well, what they complain about? He's just got a six-pack. He's a skinned human. Like, there's no skin on him. No, he's just an alien with red skin.
It scared kids, especially the voice.
What was his voice like?
I can't imitate that. Like, it was very computerized, but it's like, the Power Rangers! It's like really garbled and deep.
Well, that's not scary either. Look,
Well, it's not scary when
look, here's
I
fan art of him in a little Speedo, just trying to seduce people.
It's scary for kids, Kelly.
No, he's
Tim,
cool.
is that scary for kids?
I don't know.
Would parents complain? Do you see why parents would complain?
Complain about everything. I would be complaining that he's in a Speedo. And look, here he's trying to like go down on Rita or something. What's going on?
Oh,
here?
he's got his brain exposed too.
That's what I'm talking
now
about.
I see his brain exposed.
Yeah, that's a little creepy.
Look, he's
but,
trying to kiss her here. What's going on?
They get married.
He's got to grow up sometime.
They get married.
Yeah, they have a Jewish wedding.
What do you mean they have a Jewish wedding?
They break the bottle and everything. I'm serious.
Why is that make it a Jewish wedding?
Because they also play, I don't know what
Hava Nagila?
Yeah, they play that during the wedding. Eventually they made him real jokey so that parents would stop complaining about him.
I don't know. I think he's cool.
I forgot Apocalypse was in Power Rangers.
Apocalypse?
Apocalypse from Marvel.
Was it like for real?
Was in the Power Rangers movie. Yeah, they already had a Marvel crossover, or Power Rangers already crossed over.
I thought that was just some
X-Men.
weird goblin guy.
No, I'm making fun of the Apocalypse costume from
Okay,
Age of Apocalypse.
I got it.
Mr. Ooze.
So they're
Mr.
saying that Mr. Freeze plus that goblin guy equals Apocalypse.
That's pretty much true.
It's perfect.
Although he wasn't as purple as he appeared in those photos. Like, I think a lot of people photoshopped him purple just so it matches Ooze.
The actual promo images were pretty darn vibrant. It was pretty. It was really blue, but like it was such a strong blue that it might as well have been purple.
Mm-hmm. Once you see the movie, he's definitely blue, but yeah, it definitely looks like Ooze.
Yeah.
This miniseries is set to release January 2017.
They need a bad guy that gets bigger for that, because then they have to fight them, and then they get bigger, and then they get the Zords, and then...
Holy shit, yeah, I mean, what if Rita... I mean, she can make anyone grow, right?
Rita?
Yeah, like as soon as she throws her staff down, whoever it lands next to, they grow huge.
Huh.
I mean,
that's good.
She could do that to Darkseid, right?
Yeah, she could do that to anybody, and then it would be a good Zord fight.
But I mean, even in the comics right now, Batman's got all these villains that are growing into ginormous things.
Yeah, so just get a bunch of them to get really big, and then the Power Rangers fight them while the rest of the Justice League like fights Darkseid or something.
Would it be too ridiculous for Zordon to give the Justice League members their own Zords?
Stop it!
Oh my
please
gosh.
do that.
No, you're right. That's what needs to happen.
That is the only thing that can happen at this point, because then you could have like all the Power Rangers and their giant Zord, and then like all the Justice League and theirs, but Batman's got to be the head.
Of course, of course,
Like
he would.
Superman in a Zord fighting when like outside a Zord he's probably way stronger, but who cares because he's in a Zord. Maybe there's like kryptonite that he has to go inside the Zord to get away from. I don't care.
You think
Whatever
of everything,
happens.
Tim. That's perfect.
There we go. We did it.
Can Tim co-write this?
That'd be
Tim,
amazing.
are you busy right now? Can you just...
DC, hire me. I don't know if you heard, but I write comics.
And he will color them too.
Yes.
So, if that colorist is slacking, you got Tim Yates here.
Oh my gosh, please. Please don't do this to me. It's so much work. But yes, no, I will write and color and, even draw. DC, if you need me, just hit me up.
Continuing on the DC news, according to comic book distributor Diamond, DC Comics is sitting as sales leader for the third month in a row since their DC Rebirth relaunch in June.
About damn time.
Yeah, Marvel was on top for much too long.
So Batman number 6 was September's best-selling title, and DC accounted for 8 of the top 10 selling books.
And DC, just to go back real quick, they kind of did it to themselves. I'm not saying like how dare Marvel be on top, but I mean, DC got their shit together, and thankfully readers are seeing that, and their stories are good, and people are buying into them. The two that were not DC books in the top 10 were Civil War number 5, that sat at the number 4 spot from Marvel, and Walking Dead number 158, that sat at the number 6 spot.
People are still buying Walking Dead?
Incredibly, yeah, I mean, it is still massive.
Huh.
Walking Dead will go up in price. You can have Walking Dead number 158 right now. The one that is currently at 159. You can buy that off the stands. In 2 months, you'll see comic book shops raising that $1 to $2 of a cover price. Walking Dead right now is retaining its value because of the television show.
Mm-hmm. It's crazy. So despite its $4.99 price point, Scott Snyder's All-Star Batman number 2 was the second best-selling comic in September. What month is it? September.
Overall, comic sales are up 9% compared to this month last year. So this helps everyone. Because if comics are at a spike in sales compared to last year, which wasn't terrible, but it was definitely on like a downward slope. Once you have this spike of readers that are, even if they're buying DC Comics, from there they expand onto other books on the indie side and on the Marvel side. So when one person's doing good, it raises all ships. Everyone kind of gets a little bit of that boost as well from sales, because the more people you have going into comic shops buying these things, or going into the Comixology app, although I don't recommend it, going into the Comixology app and buying the DC books. From there, they're going to expand and see other comics that are for sale as well.
I hope it translates into pirate comic sales.
There was a Batman pirate comic. We could just bring that back. Like Bonnie meets Batman. That'd be a great crossover.
There's a crossover right there.
There you go.
Yep, Big 2 Pirate Month.
Release it the same month as Pirates of the Caribbean.
Yes.
Yeah, no, it's good. And then Blue Juice Comics can cross over with DC. It's no big deal. It's just
I mean, DC would still have to talk to Blue Juice. I don't know who they're crossing over with right now, but you definitely have to set a schedule for this, DC. So it's not official yet. You got to talk to them.
Yeah. We got to have our people talk to our people, and then we got to talk, and then it's a big process, but I'm feeling good about it. the initial brainstorm sessions have been very promising.
Marvel is about to relaunch their own line with, quote, Marvel Now.
Okay, Marvel.
They've got to do something.
No, they don't. They got Disney backing them. They're fine for years.
I mean, sure, they don't have to do anything, but they should do something. I mean, their comic readers are... I'm hearing it. It's almost like DC and Marvel switch places. It's really bizarre, and a lot of readers are saying that they need more focus. They need to, bring down their line a little bit, bring down their price, maybe like DC did, and focus on the core characters for now. Because, I mean, even the fucking Kingpin has his own comic in this Marvel Now.
Who cares?
And exactly, who cares? How long is that going to sell? This is not a strategy for long-term comic sales. And this is why I'm especially hard on Marvel, aside from the fact that, the fanboyism. This hurts all of comics when you're bringing up your prices from $2.99 to $3.99 to $4.99 to $5.99 if it's Civil War. That hurts everyone, because that's the kind of shit that gets people to drop out of comic books.
Or transition into indie comics.
Aha.
Hopefully they do that. I mean, best case
comics.
scenario, they do that.
Yeah.
Some customers are fickle enough to just drop the whole medium.
Yeah.
Well, then they're not true fans.
Kelli decrees.
So if this is you, listener, and you're upset with what Marvel is doing,
we have a great camp for you.
yeah, no, we have a camp, and you can go on the computers there and take a trip over to bluejuicecomics.com and check out one of our great series that I either create, write, draw, or color.
And that Kelly and I possibly recommended in the past.
It's a win-win.
We do have a Nerd Rage reaction for all this comic book news, though. I have to get my voice ready. It's got to be real whiny.
It's your Robin voice?
Yeah. It is my Robin voice. I'm still not over that Dick teases from the book, by the way. That was just wrong. Anyway, Nerd Rage reaction. Marvel double ships and people bitch. DC double ships and people say, take that, Marvel. New 52 was winning in the first couple months before drop off. Folks got short memories. I love that. Folks got short memories.
What's your take on that, Tim? Do you think people are more willing to forgive a publisher over popularity or trends if another publisher is doing the same thing? Now, this is before I point out the difference between what the two companies are doing.
So I got a stupid question. What's the new 52 again?
So the new 52...
I was a little confused by these concepts. It was just their... No, I know, I'm just joking around, but... No, yeah, it was like the iteration of the characters that people just cared least about. Even though I liked some of those books.
Oh yeah, there were some good books in the New 52, but it did stray away a little bit too far for what the longtime fans were used to.
Yeah, anime Superman loves Batman.
That's been like forever though. Since they were both created, I'm sure that's what happened. Yeah.
Well, it shows, that the fan base for those comics are, the older ones. There's like, if you're pitching a new blood, like, there really is no, there's not much new blood unless you, stick to what you know. So maybe it was a good experiment, but maybe I'm getting off topic. What was short memories? Like, I don't know. People have their horse they pull for. Like, if you're a Marvel fan, you're gonna like Marvel comics, I guess. If you're a DC fan, it seems like the two camps are pretty split. It's almost like politics. You've got the Marvels and the Democratic comics. But I don't really care. If it's a good comic, it's a good comic. You read it or you don't read it. I don't know what the feud between Marvel and DC fans is all about.
Yeah, we pick up from... I mean, we definitely buy more DC than Marvel, but we do still read some Marvel books. It's just... I think everyone just wants to see everyone doing well because everybody wins, We all just want all comics to be good and strong, and we want to be able to have that problem of there's just too many good comics out right now. I can't buy them all. That's a good problem to have. And that's what I think we're trying to get to.
Yeah. But the prices being jacked up is kind of ridiculous because, I mean, they want people to, read all their comics, right?
Right.
Is there no way to make things affordable? I know there's printing costs and whatever, but it is a little ridiculous.
And that's kind of what blows me away too, is because traditionally, if you pick up a Marvel book and compare it to any other type of comic out there, it doesn't even have to be DC. They're printing, the paper that they use is thinner and cheaper than what the rest of the publishers use. So I still don't understand where, that printing cost is coming from on their end. And I'm sure maybe that's a Disney thing, or maybe that's a Marvel thing where they're like, save as much money as possible and then raise the price because the margins are much larger. Maybe that's what it is.
Yeah.
I don't know. I think they're also raising the price because they know that they can do it and still get enough people to pick them up. Right.
I mean, there's so many things that go into, the price raise. Like, and the creators have to get paid too. But it's a very hard medium to be a fan of these days. It seems to the point where there's so much content. There's only like a couple people that will actually read like all of it. It's and like it all sort of intertwines. But like, how are you going to read it all? It's it's the age old problems. I'm not bringing up anything new here.
Final bit of comic book news this week. We have more news on the New 52 Batman team, Scott Snyder and Greg Capullo, as they return to DC Comics after their almost year-long break.
We do have a quote here from Snyder, who told Newsarama at New York Comic Con. Tim, I'm sure you've already heard this before because you were there.
Wait, what? I was there, but I was in the same 12 by 12 foot area the entire weekend.
I assumed. But the quote reads, "Yes, we're going to be doing a big summer event next year, next summer. It will be very Batman-centric and very rock and roll."
Ooh.
Snyder wouldn't provide more details, but this fits in within Capullo's promise to return to the Batman universe after he was done with Mark Millar's Reborn series. Capullo, being the artist of Batman, I mean, he had to walk away from the series after doing it for 5 years at that point of just drawing Batman back to back, and the way he does it is kind of insane on a monthly basis. He will toss out an entire comic page if he's not happy with it, a whole day's work, and start over the next day. This man is insane. You follow him on Twitter, and he's a crazy person. So he needed that break, and I think a lot of artists do need to work on something else before getting back on the same project that maybe their main project. Otherwise, that's where it starts to suffer. That's where the quality starts to maybe get a little bit stale. And that's what Greg Capullo had to do. Actually, this is perfect. We've got Tim right here. Do you agree with having to work on a different project every now and again before you get on your main one?
There's two sides of the coin, because as a creator, you get on a roll when you do one thing for a long time. You know, switching between projects, I find sometimes I'll get like some steam going and get like a rhythm. And then when I stop that and go, like if I stop, you know, writing and drawing Anne Bonny and then start coloring another series, it almost like throws a wrench in it. And I've got to kind of build up momentum again. Mm-hmm. But on the other hand, it is nice to, you know, flex your creative muscles on different projects. I think it's you know, it's maybe it's not as big a problem if you're just doing one thing like drawing or just doing one thing like coloring. You can just switch projects without losing that momentum. Mm-hmm. But yeah, no, it could be good. Yeah, see, because I've never tried just doing one thing. I guess coloring is the closest I've gotten to, you know, that kind of thing. And switching between projects when I'm coloring isn't that big a deal.
I want to learn how to color.
Get some crayons, print out the line art. It's easy.
I do that, but then like they're all one color, and Dan's like, you need to add your shading and these other things, and I'm like, I don't know what that is. Well,
see, if you can't tell where the sunlight's coming from, that's the line artist's fault. Don't blame me.
Right. My Winnie the Pooh coloring books had it all wrong. It's their fault, not mine.
Their fault. Where are the blacks? Where are the shadows? I don't understand what's going on here.
What's wrong in the 100-acre wood? But with that, guys,
100-acre wood
we can move into our Patreon shout out of the week.
So this week our shout out goes out to Eric on Twitter at eAntonOfficial. Be sure to follow him on Twitter and the rest of our brokettes that have backed us on Patreon, because they are helping to make a better podcast for all of you and building towards that next goal.
Mm-hmm. It is because of your Patreon support that we can have awesome guest stars like Tim on the show, which makes it so much more fun because we team up against Daniel.
You all paid for this.
And I'm so happy. Thank you.
Yeah, if we had never hit goal 2, we couldn't be able to do guests on the show. And all the Patreon brokettes have gotten the survey saying when they want to have new guests. And we have taken that opinion and we have taken it into account as we do work into getting Tim Yates again in the future, or again today as we did, and other guest stars like Riggs in the past. So that's all thanks to all of our Patreon brokettes. If you also want to get your monthly shout out on Patreon, head on over to patreon.com/thereasonsimBroke. For as little as $1 a month, you too can get your shout out.
But of course, our podcast will always be free. The best thing you can do for us is leave us a review, a comment, let other people know about us, or just interact with us on Twitter, Facebook, anywhere.
And we do want to update Brokettes on Patreon and everyone else that isn't a part of it with an upgrade that all of our Patreon Brokettes got. And that is an exclusive RSS feed link just for them.
What's that?
So to anyone confused, that is a special link that you take and you add it to your favorite podcatcher. So whether it's iTunes, Stitcher, Podomatic, Castro.
Who named it Podomatic?
You take the special link, add it to your show list, RSS submission, add it on there, and you are essentially subscribed to a special version of the Reasons I'm Broke podcast. Ooh. So before, when you got the early access episodes, which you get with as little as $1 a month, you got the podcast early. As soon as I got done editing and submitting and putting it through Alphonic, I put it all up and sent it out to our Patreon backers. They got an email, they click on the link, they can listen to the show through a player on there. But now they can listen to the show through their favorite podcatcher. So if they're like, you know what, I prefer listening through iTunes, I prefer listening through Stitcher because of all the different bells and whistles that program has, you can now use the Reasons I'm Broke podcast Patreon feed and get the podcast automatically downloaded straight to your program ahead of time. You no longer have to click on the link. You get this feed as soon as you become a backer for as little as $1 a month. Let the program do the downloading for you early and ahead of time.
That's awesome.
Pretty fucking
$1
awesome.
a month, people.
$1 a month.
It's $1. Like I just found $1 in the street one day, the other day, and like remember when finding like a quarter was a big deal?
Yeah.
Found a whole $1.
That's amazing. I find a penny and it's a big deal.
And that $1 would go towards supporting your favorite podcast.
Aw, we're the favorite.
If you feel like you get at least $1 worth of entertainment a month, patreon.com/thereasonsimmbroke. We do want to thank fandomfi.com, previously known as decalavenue.com. They have upgraded, they've expanded, they're carrying more than decal, so they have rebranded fandomfi.com. That's spelled fandomfy.com. Huge thanks to them for the help at the $5 decal tier.
So we are now going to move into our comic book highlight of the week. As we said in the very beginning of the show, this is Reborn #1. This is written by Mark Millar with art by Greg Capullo, and the colorist is FCO Placencia. That's a colorist name. Tim,
Wow.
we need to change your name.
I'm changing it to Placencia. That's intense.
You could be Tim Placencia.
Yes. T.I.M. Placencia.
I love colorist names. They're the best.
They're the best. I like Hi-Fi. That one's cool too.
I still don't get it. I don't understand why they're like Madonna. It's just colorists though. It's never pencilers. It's never inkers. It's never writers.
So maybe that's why I haven't gotten the big jobs yet. It's because I don't have a fancy colorist name.
You've got it. You heard it here first, Brokettes.
All right, that's it.
Placencia.
This is the last time you will listen to Tim Yates. Next time, it'll be someone else. A better version.
Tim Yates 2.0.
So Reborn #1 is an indie book from Image. Mm-hmm. Once again, as we mentioned, that is the book that Greg Capullo was moved on to after he took a break from Batman, and we followed him because we follow creators, and that's how we came across Reborn #1. We haven't read too much by Mark Millar, but a quick recap on Reborn #1 without, I mean, it's not spoiling the whole comic, but it's just kind of where it begins. Mark Millar's version of an afterlife. Mm-hmm. It's a very dark and very real thought process on living and dying. You follow the main character who is at a retirement home, doesn't have her husband anymore, and one of the most powerful lines in it is she says, you get to an age where you are no longer distracted by the fact that you are dying as soon as you're born. And I mean, it's full of lines like that throughout the comic, and the part that hits you the most is probably as this main character is passing on, and all of the memories from throughout her life, when she first meets her husband, interacting and playing with her dad as a little girl, one of her cherished pets growing up. All of that is Greg Capullo drew it in like this cycle and twister, but it's kind of digitized at the same time, and it's going in a downward spiral, but then you see the character crashing through it as if it were glass, black background on it, and she is reborn the moment she dies.
That page was gorgeous.
What's that?
I said that page was gorgeous.
It's amazing. I mean, I stopped at that page and I did tear up. I was tearing up at the tea
Boba
shop we were reading at. Yeah,
the boba tea shop.
And I was like, this is fucking powerful. I mean, this shit. You got to read it, Tim. What'd you think of the book?
It was good. It was good. Looks like the start of a fun little story. Looking forward to seeing where it goes.
The way that you described it, because you didn't even tell me about the book. I'm just flipping through my mound of comics that I get every week that I have to read, and I'm just like, oh, do I need to read this one? And the only thing you described it as is, it's when you die, you get reborn as a 20-something-year-old. And I'm like, oh shit, gotta read this now. Like, that's so cool.
You're 20-something-year-old, but you're like in a world where you have to like fight evil, and like all everybody that died is there, and they're all like banding together against these evil forces for some reason. And there's like an evil overlord that's in charge of everything, and
it's definitely not
it's
paradise.
trippy. Yeah, it's trippy, but it looks fun.
It's more struggle in Mark Millar's afterlife. I mean, it's awesome. I really liked it, and I'm excited to see. I mean, she's going to be searching for her husband because they weren't reborn at a different or in the same place, and even their status is completely different. She's this kind of iconic person to all of these people fighting, and
she was reborn as like a hero, and he was just like a dude, another soldier.
Oh, but they're gonna meet each other again.
It's a love story. It's perfect
a love story. It's an old people love story. I love those even more. Like The Notebook, forget about it. I love old people love stories. The Notebook. I cry every time. The movie starts and I start crying because I know what's coming. Anyway, we all three really enjoyed Reborn. Definitely pick it up. Check out just the first issue, even if you don't want to continue. The first issue was very heartwarming and touching and made me really think about life.
Yeah, if you can find it. Reborn #1, I know at my local comic shop, it sold out immediately. And then it went out of printing at Diamond. It's getting a second printing later on, so you can pick up one of those. Otherwise, you can wait for the trade paperback until all the issues are put together, but that won't be until middle of next year. And Reborn has already been greenlit for a film even before the first book launched. That's kind of Mark Millar's thing. He's trying to make his stories into movies and kind of expand from more than the books into television and movies, which of course rounds all the way back to selling more books, because if people watch the TV show, as you see with Walking Dead, they will then buy the books, and if they buy the books, they will watch the TV show. So it's just it's a vicious cycle. And Mark Millar's trying to get on that. Mm-hmm. So there you go, Brokettes. Before we close out the show, we do want to give Tim a chance once again to let all the listeners know exactly where they can find all of his projects, Anne Bonny, Ether and Empire, The Accelerators, and what we can look forward to for the rest of the year and 2017.
Yeah, well, campers, like to...
Full circle, Tim. Great job. Full circle.
I was waiting for that. Like this whole time, I was just kind of bouncing in my chair waiting to drop that. It was worth it. So yeah, no, check me out on Twitter at yatescomics.com. I don't talk much, but follow me anyway. We'll start releasing promos for the next Anne Bonny arc soon. I'm almost halfway through the production of it, so we can start kind of teasing some of the panels and images from the comics, and I'm really excited to share where the story's going. So yeah, check it out and support Blue Juice Comics' other books because they feed me. Ether and Empire is great. It's steampunk and it's like steampunk space travel. You've got some airships, and then they go to Mars with steampunk technology. That's a lot of fun. Accelerators is great. It's time travel. A lot of great books you can check out if you're tired of what Marvel's doing to your comic book fanhood. Go take a look at Blue Juice Comics. That's a wrap.
BlueJuiceComics.com. They also have a Twitter at BlueJuiceComics.
Yes.
As soon as you start typing in, if you're following us on Twitter, as soon as you type in at Blue or at Tim, they will autofill Tim Yates and Blue Juice Comics Twitter because we're following them also, so it links it all together. So definitely follow them on Twitter and also on Facebook, right? Blue Juice Comics. I believe it's facebook.com/Blue Juice Comics.
Yep.
And then
Anne Bonny has a Facebook page too. It's been depressingly barren lately because I've just been focusing on the production side of things, so we can actually have books for people to read. But it's gonna be some exciting things teased there soon.
Awesome! I'm excited, and don't forget about issues 7 and 8, Tim. We got to read
7,
those.
8. Yes. Okay. I'll have my team write that down. And some of your favorite podcasters might be in a certain panel.
You stop this.
God.
You stop this, Tim. Don't tease me like this.
I know it's kind of a paradox because you are Anne Bonny.
It's true.
So having you in a panel might be kind of weird, but
it's okay.
We can figure out a way around that.
Yes. It's like And Bonnieception.
Also, the previous logo to our show made an appearance in the past also.
Yes!
So I do have to ask this, Tim. Does this confirm...
Oh, yeah, I forgot about that.
Will this confirm multiple Earths in the world of Anne Bonny then?
You can spin that in your fan fiction, and I'll go with it.
So Anne Bonny is Earth 1 Kelly, and then the panel with Ewan, that's Earth 2 Kelly.
Yeah.
The podcast
I've got
Earth
Easter
3.
eggs from all kinds of things. Like, I've got Easter eggs from anime, I've got Easter eggs from Disney.
I remember the one, Harry Potter.
Yeah, Harry Potter.
That's in there.
Okay,
That's awesome. If I could draw and made a comic, I would do that shit all the time. Be like, there's Goku back there, chilling.
Sometimes I have the most fun just putting the Easter eggs in. Like, I've got characters from my favorite shows. Like, if I'm enjoying something, I'll put an Easter egg from it in.
That's awesome.
And I forget about them sometimes. I'm like, I read the books the other day so I could remember what I did before, and I was like, wait, that's Pride Rock back there.
Oh, no way, really? I'm gonna have to go back and look at them all.
Yeah, it's an issue too.
Break out my trade.
Among the background, you're like, oh yeah, no, that's copyright infringement. But it's a homage, so it's fine.
It's not the Lion King; it's the Lion Emperor.
Yeah,
just change the title.
It's the Tiger Emperor.
The Tiger King.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, that's it.
It's Gay Pride Rock.
Gay Pride Rock. Is Dumbledore up there? Like,
yeah, no, that's it. That's exactly what it is. So yeah, maybe we can do an Easter egg hunt.
That'd
be awesome.
Make it into a YouTube series.
You should put a literal Easter egg, a literal one.
That's actually pretty funny.
And then you could be like, "There's an Easter egg in this somewhere," and then people are like, "Oh, what is it?" And it's an Easter egg.
Awesome, Burkett. So be sure to follow Blue Juice Comics and also Tim Yates on Twitter. Like their pages on Facebook. And huge thanks, Tim, for joining us once again on the podcast.
My pleasure. I had a great time. Thanks for having me on.
Absolutely. I'm Daniel.
And I'm Kelly. And
I'm Tim. Sorry, I'm Tim. I was in listener mode. I was like, yeah, no, this is the sign off.
We'll see you next week.